Bridgeport, West Virginia is a picture postcard town of just over 9,000 people. The kind of place you'd be thrilled to call home for a few days, a few years, or a lifetime. This extraordinary part of the country is a brilliant tapestry of mountains and surprisingly progressive. The people here are fiercely independent, genuine, and generous.
The first time I saw UHC was driving past it on the highway, and my first impression was, wow, that hospital is gorgeous. And then was able to find out more about it, and they have a very good family medicine residency, and I was like, all right, let's apply there.
Our mission at United Hospital Center in the family medicine residency is to teach, to train, really to inspire residents to develop into comprehensive, compassionate physicians. Our mission is to guide the residents in many ways in their professional development, regardless of their career path within family medicine. Our job is to teach them how to balance their professional and personal lives.
United Hospital Center is a 300-bed, award-winning medical facility named to the Fortune IBM Watson Health 100 Top Hospitals list in the teaching hospital category for the second time in 2020. Here among the mountains of West Virginia is an outstanding opportunity for community-based training. Approximately 16,000 admissions, 41,000 visits to the emergency department, and close to 800 deliveries a year. UHC's Cecil B. Hyland Jr. and Barbara B. Hyland Cancer Center is one of only 1,300 to qualify as a community comprehensive cancer program, recognized by the American College of Surgeons Commission on Cancer. As part of the WVU Medicine Health System, our program offers the benefits associated with an academic medical center, while providing hands-on training at an unopposed training site. Residents have the opportunity to choose electives in the medical ICU at the academic medical center, or do rural family medicine with small-town traditional family doctors, providing valuable insight and experience.
One of the things I wish I would have known prior to starting residency is what hospital life is like. Also, when do we first take call? And at this program, at UHC's residency program, they allow us to transition. We don't start taking 24-hour call until our second year. During your first year, there's so many things that we're learning and so many things that we're trying to get used to, and not being abandoned or having that feeling that you're all by yourself during that first year is very comforting. You always have a senior with you. By the time you get to second year, you kind of know how the hospital system works.
You know, you hear a lot of horror stories about other residency programs to an extent about the transition from student to intern. You have a lot of new responsibilities and added stress that you would expect of a doctor, but they made the transition here very, very easy. You know, the first couple weeks, they're very good about allowing you to grow as a person without the added anxiety and stress that often you encounter in your medical education.
We are involved in the residents' development, their career path, their choices for what they want to do when they're done with residency. We are all involved hands-on to the point of reviewing contracts with them, looking at practice opportunities. We guide them individually as residents as they move through the program. And that has always been the strength of the program. That's what medical students recognize through their interview and soon when they get here.
You're an actual doctor now, and that what you do changes what happens to the patient. And so when you're a med student, you are just practicing of thinking about what you would want to do to help this person out. When you're an intern, you are their doctor. You have to step up your game kind of in how you go about treating them, because the orders that you put in to the computer actually are implemented to the patient, and they actually will affect what happens to them. But it's more rewarding that way too, because then instead of just thinking about what you would want to do to help this person, you're actually helping them.
The Family Practice Clinic is an NCQA Level 3 certified patient-centered medical home where quality performance is measured in patient outcomes. Our residents learn to manage patients with a wide variety of medical conditions as members of an interdisciplinary team that includes a care manager and a social worker. The devotion of our team of physician faculty, pharmacists, clinical psychologists, and support staff provides an energetic educational experience that is structured to meet all requirements and the goals of each resident physician.
So the preceptors here are all dedicated family medicine faculty, so they are all part of the residency. So they see their own patients, but then their main job is to make sure that the residents are learning and that the residents have the support they need from the faculty. So that's huge. They are the most supportive. They are our cheerleaders, and they help us through residency to pursue the type of family medicine that we want to do. And that's the reason that I came here, really, is because I met the other residents and they were so nice, they were so welcoming, and the faculty will do what they can to help you reach your goals as a family medicine doctor. They let you pursue your interests, and if they share that interest, then they help you along with it. And if they don't have that same interest, they'll find someone to help you go through it and to reach your career goals, which is kind of the point of residency.
What are you looking for most in a resident? And the answer really is compassion, because everything else can be taught. You can teach history and physical, you can teach some part of a workup of a patient, you can teach the algorithm with which you treat, say, diabetic ketoacidosis, but really it's compassion and empathy that actually makes the best doctor.
There is a patient I'll always remember. I met her when I was a first year, and she was in the hospital for like a pneumonia that was kind of complicated and it was difficult for her to get over. And then they ended up diagnosing her with lung cancer. And she did all the right things. She stopped smoking, tried to improve her life, and then 6 months later she got diagnosed. And she's still dealing with it and struggling with it. And I recently saw her in the clinic. And it's always nice to see patients who are happy to see you. I walk in the room, she brightens up a little bit. And then, she knows I'm leaving soon, so she made sure that we got a picture at the end of the encounter. She was just really thankful that I was her doctor, and I'm thankful to have her as a patient. So it's just a good relationship between the both of us.
My experience as a resident, no matter what I have needed, I've been able to find either the right person to ask the question to get the answer right away, or there's always someone to help direct me to the right place to find whatever it is I'm looking for, whatever it is I need.
This really does feel like family. Even though we're coming to work, it's really our family away from home and does feel like home.
The residents here really do actually get along with each other, and we do hang out together outside of the hospital.
We all get along great. We love it here. It's no sweat off our back to spend 12 hours a day with these people. I know that's not true of every program, so that was something I looked for in a residency, and when I got here, that's what I saw. And that's ultimately what helped me pick it. So we do something at least once or twice a week, all of us as a group. It's not a competition. You've already made it through med school, you're in residency, you're here to have a good time while you learn and take care of patients. And we're more than happy to ask each other questions to try and help one another and learn from one another, because each of our patients are different and there's experiences that one of us is going to have that the other one won't.
It's a complete program. You think about coming and practicing rural medicine, you might miss out on, big shot cases or things like that. But no, you definitely get your share of excitement. There's no question that you get to deal with, a large range as far as severity of cases and, dire situations, things where you have to kind of be on the ball and make snap decisions. You get, no lack of that here.
Right outside your back door and smack in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, you've got all-season outdoor recreation options, complemented by amazing lakes and hiking trails. All you need is a fly rod, a mountain bike, or a kayak.
And the Fayetteville area, which is about 45 minutes or so away, you can kayak and you can whitewater raft. Up north, there's another 45 minutes away, there's Cooper's Rock, which offers hiking, and a couple hours south, there's Blackwater Falls that you can go see. You can have access to all of those outdoor things while still getting a moderate to big city feel in Morgantown. Pittsburgh's 2 hours away north, so you have a major airport to fly into and out of. You have a city where there's major sports teams and concert venues. You're not as far separated from society as you'd like to probably think.
There's no shortage of golf courses here, and the crown jewel is Bridgeport's Pete Dye Golf Club, rated one of the 100 best in America. However, the Bridgeport Sports Complex is set to change the landscape of recreation in north central West Virginia. Covering 60 acres, this destination for major sporting events and tournaments will include a 155,000 square foot multi-use facility, 6 basketball courts, 6 volleyball courts, a natatorium, a competition-sized swimming pool, an indoor walking track, and indoor turf field and a fitness center, all just minutes from UHC. Bridgeport is growing with great restaurants. Try the Old World Pizza at Mia Margarita. Grab a beer at Mountain State Brewing Company, one of West Virginia's oldest distributing microbreweries and taproom. Or dive into the shepherd's pie at Meager's Irish Pub. While the shopping centers and mall host the national brands, it's always an adventure to veer off the beaten path, like a stroll through the local farmers markets, where you're bound to run into friendly people, eager to share their stories and learn about yours. If there's something you can't find in Bridgeport, whether it's a special ingredient, a performing artist, or Division I sports, you'll likely be able to find it in nearby Morgantown, home to West Virginia University. This thriving cultural hub remains one of the best deals anywhere in terms of affordability. A number of our residents live within 10 minutes of the hospital and clinic, and yet the rest of the world is accessible through the local airport, just 4 miles from the hospital.
When I was in Lexington, one of my mentors who had his dream job in Lexington, Kentucky, he actually got a job offer at WVU. And initially, he talked to me about how this was going to be a short-term move for him and his family, just because all of his family was in Kentucky. But within 6 months of being in Morgantown, they fell in love with the area. They have a house here now, and they're probably going to be here for the long term moving forward. So I remember talking to him about putting Bridgeport and UHC at the top of the list, and his initial reaction was that we would love it here. Once we got here, it would be fantastic for us. And he's like, you guys are going to come here, you guys are going to buy a house, you're going to fall in love, and you guys are going to stay here forever. And almost to the T, everything has been exactly what he said. We moved here, we have a house now, and we definitely love it here.
I'm only 1 year in, and it has helped me quite a bit with personal growth to be the best doctor that I want to be.
The one word I would use to describe UHC is excellent. It is an excellent atmosphere, it's an excellent hospital, and you have excellent staff to work with. It's the only way to describe it.